Philipp Lahm was a football genius. He was so good at reading offences that he'd be in position before the attackers could make their move. As attackers made their runs, he'd be right there shadowing them, adjusting his defence to perfection. Opponents were amazed and frustrated by Lahm's ability to read offences so easily. But how did he become the smartest defender football has ever seen? And why did he leave the game in the prime of his career? The road to outsmarting football offenses started when Lahm was just a kid. He always understood the game at a deeper level, and what he lacked in athleticism, he made up for with intellect. When he joined the Bayern Munich academy aged 11, he quickly distinguished himself with his technical ability and tactical awareness. His youth coach, Hermann Gerland, introduced Lahm to the foundation of the mental game: film study. The youngster was a quick learner. According to Gerland, Philipp always knew what to do with the ball, and he was always a step ahead of everyone else. So Lahm was an all-everything player as a junior. He played as a midfielder, winger, and even striker before settling into his defensive roles. His ability to adapt would become an invaluable skill later in his career. But as he progressed through the under-19s, senior coaches were slightly concerned. You see, Lahm was only 5'7", and his small stature and slight build raised doubts about his ability to compete at the elite level. But there was some interest. After failing to break into the first team due to competition from established defender Bixente Lirazaru, Lahm was loaned to Stuttgart. Fortunately, he thrived under head coach Felix Magath. He schooled Lahm for hours on end, showing him how to defend attackers and read midfielders' intentions. Armed with this mental edge, Lahm's powers of observation became superhuman, earning him praise for his attacking contributions, but also his maturity, earning the Fritz Walter Medal in 2002 as Germany's best under-19 player. In 2005, Lahm would return to Bayern Munich, this time with the hole at the right-back position, and Felix Magath as the head coach. He knew just the player to fill the gap. Lahm would become first-choice right-back in the 2005-06 season, showcasing his ability in both attack and defence, helping Bayern to win the Bundesliga and Cup double. After an epic first season with Bayern, it was about to get even better for the 22-year-old. With Jurgen Klinsmann at the helm of the German national team, he backed Lahm to be the starting left-back, despite a recently damaged tendon in his elbow that actually required surgery. But Lahm repaid his faith almost instantly.
By Lahm, chances here, and the Costa Rica goalkeeper is beaten!
With Lahm scoring the opening goal of the tournament and going on to be named in the World Cup All-Star team, cementing him as a global superstar. Just as he did in the youth team, Lahm learned in the first 11 from the older teammates, like defender Lucio, striker Luca Toni, and midfielder and captain Mark van Bommel. But even they couldn't prepare Philipp for the career-defining moments that would come over the next few years. For the 2007-08 season, Bayern bought German left-back Marcel Janssen, with Lahm finally being able to revert back to his preferred right-back role that he always wanted to play. But due to Janssen's constant injuries that season, Lahm was forced to remain on the left for the entire campaign. And during the whole season, there was rumours surrounding Lahm's future, suggesting that he would leave Bayern in 2008 to join Barcelona. But Lahm would do a U-turn after being guaranteed to play in his natural position going forwards. And despite his quiet demeanour, he was named a vice-captain for Bayern Munich in 2008, leading Bayern to another league and cup double. But behind the scenes at the Bavarian club, things were slowly unravelling. In 2009, Lahm was given the biggest fine in club history, worth an estimated €25,000, after he gave an unsanctioned interview criticising the club's transfer policy and lack of strategic planning. Some saw this as Lahm going too far, but he knew what Bayern Munich could be capable of. And with President Uli Hoeneß promising to build a team capable of competing in Europe, it's exactly what happened. After a difficult start under new coach Louis van Gaal, Lahm went on to play arguably his greatest ever season for Bayern, forming an iconic partnership on the right wing with Arjen Robben, providing 12 assists that season as he went on to claim another league double and help Bayern reach the Champions League final, where they lost unfortunately to Jose Mourinho's Inter Milan 2-0. Inside the Bayern facility, Lahm would become the team's North Star, as his relentless work that he put in on and off the field to make him great. During the week, Lahm would regularly log 10+ hour days, with the last 2 or 3 hours devoted to studying his opposition, with Pep Guardiola famously claiming, "He's perhaps the most intelligent player I have ever trained in my career. He is at another level." And that work that Lahm put in the film room and on the practice field showed up on match days. Now the club captain, 2013 was set to be another elite season for Lahm, as he captained the side to a historic treble-winning season, with the Bundesliga, DFB Pokal and the Champions League. In the final, they beat fellow German rivals Borussia Dortmund 2-1 at Wembley Stadium. After the game, Lahm revealed how happy he was at winning the title by saying, "It's incredible, a huge joy and a huge relief. The pressure was enormous after losing the Champions League final twice." Now under new manager Pep Guardiola, he moved Lahm from his right-back role and played him in a defensive midfield role instead. A move that would pay off as Bayern were a juggernaut that year. As that season brought a new milestone for Lahm and the club, as he captained Bayern to a record 24th Bundesliga title and the earliest league championship in Bundesliga history, retaining the title with 7 games to spare. But things would get even better for Lahm that summer when he led Germany to the 2014 World Cup title in Brazil after beating Argentina 1-0 in the final. But just 5 days later, at age 30, Lahm would retire from the international football stage with 113 caps, after feeling that he had achieved the ultimate goal and had nothing left to achieve with the national team. After a successful season, Lahm was rewarded with a new 4-year contract, keeping him at Bayern until 2018. But he was yet to return to his role at right back. And despite this, Bayern would claim a 3rd consecutive Bundesliga title, giving Lahm his 6th of his career. But finally, some good news broke for Lahm, as head coach Pep Guardiola stated that Lahm could move to his right-back role again after the club signed Arturo Vidal and Joshua Kimmich. And it was Kimmich that would change Lahm's career forever. Now under the management of Carlo Ancelotti, Bayern continued to win, with Lahm at the right-back role and Kimmich in the midfield role. But Lahm knew his time was coming to an end soon. After injuries sustained earlier in his career had begun to stack up, he knew he didn't have long left to play. So he began furiously mentoring Kimmich to be his successor, spending hours with Kimmich on the training pitch and in the film room, showing him how to break down opponents like he did. And after winning his 7th league title in 2017, 2017 would be his last dance. The battered superstar came to the conclusion that he just couldn't go anymore, citing his inability to maintain peak physical performance any longer. Ever the professional, always thinking ahead, Lahm had been reflecting on his future and assessing his physical condition every week, ultimately deciding that his understudy, Joshua Kimmich, was ready to take over from him. But it was a triumphant final season, captaining Bayern to their 5th consecutive Bundesliga title, with his last match being a 4-1 win over Freiburg, where he was subbed off in the 87th minute to a standing ovation from the Allianz crowd. He retired on a high, having won 8 Bundesliga titles, 6 DFB Pokals, and the 2013 Champions League, alongside that 2014 World Cup win with Germany, and another 5 Team of the Year awards too. Perhaps the most incredible achievement about Philipp Lahm is that despite having over 700 career appearances, he was never sent off, showcasing his discipline and intelligence that far surpasses any other player that has played the game. For now, Lahm has largely left the game of football behind, rejecting his sporting director role at Bayern Munich in favour of other business ventures and more time at home with his family. But after being inducted into the 2017 Bayern Munich Hall of Fame, he is undoubtedly one of the greatest players of all time. And perhaps his greatest accomplishment is that he is unanimously known as the smartest football player to ever lace them up.